Welcome to another classic story from the Justice League. The story begins in the kingdom of Camelot. Thousands of years ago, a war is raging. An army is attempting to breach the castle's defenses, and this army of demons is being led by a certain sorceress. Her attack is merciless, and her son wants to know if they will be able to invade and take control of that castle. His mother assures him that they will. Meanwhile, inside the castle, a knight came to tell the other knights that the king is in need of some assistance. The other knights went in to help the king, but that was just a lie. The knight actually wanted to open the main gate to allow the army of demons to enter and conquer Camelot. The sorceress named Morgana said that the walls of King Arthur's castle would never be enough to stop her from conquering the kingdom. The man who opened the castle's gates, named Jason, is completely in love with this woman. She approached him to kiss him, but instead she poisoned him. The man betrayed his own kingdom for nothing. This woman never loved him. She did all of this to secure a kingdom for her own son. Now this man will forever be remembered as the man who betrayed the kingdom. When he was about to die, in the most shameful way possible, we see that the wizard Merlin appeared to speak to this man. He said that Camelot will be destroyed because of his betrayal, and Jason replies that Merlin would never understand this kind of thing. After all, he's not a man, he is a divine creature. The seductive powers of a woman don't work on him. Merlin says that Jason was kissed by a demon in the form of a woman, and the dreams of men will always be destroyed in the name of love. Jason said that he already paid for his crimes with his own life. That should be enough, but Merlin said that it is not enough. Someone like Jason does not deserve pity, and from that moment on, Merlin cursed him. Until his sin has been erased from the face of this earth, he will wander eternally. His soul will be bound to a demon, all because of his lust. Jason will have an eternity to pay for his sin.
And see the face spawned of thy lust, the face of thy protection, the face of thy inner demon.
Many years later in the future, we see a group of paramedics bringing an old man to the hospital. He says there is a stone that will grant infinite power to whoever possesses it, but the paramedics thought he was just crazy. Minutes after that, Batman came to investigate the place where that man used to live. Everything inside was completely ransacked, and a book had a page turned out right at the part where he talked about the Philosopher's Stone. According to the legend, that stone used to be housed in the hilt of the legendary sword called Excalibur. But before Batman finished reading, Jason appeared in that place and said that according to the legends, the Philosopher's Stone is what granted the legendary powers to the sword. Batman asked if that old man was one of Jason's friends, and the man said yes. However, that man is not old. He is only 32 years old. He's an expert on the history of King Arthur, and Batman asks what happened to him. Jason says it could only have been the sorceress Morgana. When Camelot was conquered, the wizard Merlin managed to hide the Philosopher's Stone, and now Morgana must have appeared to try and find it again. Batman says that all of that is impossible, but Jason replies that if Morgana gets the Philosopher's Stone, she will rebuild Camelot and put her own son on the throne to rule the planet. Batman wants to know how close this woman is to finding the stone, and Jason says that she is really close to finding it. We then see that Morgana herself was in a castle with her son. The guard of this castle was distracted by Morgana's son, and she took advantage of this moment to approach and drain the man's life energy. He transformed into an old man in the same way that happened to the man who was an expert about King Arthur. The sorceress Morgana herself became younger with his life energy, and together with her son, she went to keep on looking for the Philosopher's Stone. Some people say it is hidden inside that chest, but when the woman used magic to open that chest, she realized that the stone was no longer inside of it. It seems Merlin managed to trick her once again. Suddenly, the sorcerer's amulet warned her that Jason was approaching and she had a surprise for him. We see that the man actually arrived with Batman at that location, and upon searching the chest, Jason realized that the stone wasn't there, although it had already been there before. Suddenly, all the weapons from those suits of armor began to fly out to attack them. The door was locked, and then the suits of armor themselves came to life to attack them. Batman could not handle all of those suits of armor, and Jason had no choice. He summoned his other form as the demon Etrigan. In that form, he could easily destroy all those armors. Batman mentions that if the Philosopher's Stone is really that powerful, they will need a lot of help, and together they went to meet the other heroes from the Justice League. Batman wants to know how that sorceress managed to deceive Jason for so long, and he says it's because she has an amulet that senses his arrival. The Flash joked. He said the woman doesn't even need an amulet, she can feel his breath from a mile away. Etrigan got furious, and the Flash didn't even dare to repeat the joke. The Martian Manhunter says that he has a good option to try and find the sorcerers. He's going to scan the whole world telepathically, and when he does that, we see that the sorcerer was already hiding with her son. She wonders where the Philosopher's Stone might be, and her son tells her that perhaps the archaeologist who found that castle might have stolen the stone. That's quite possible indeed. And suddenly, the woman felt a presence inside her mind. Luckily, this person is nothing but an amateur and doesn't know who they're dealing with. Morgana then uses her long-range sorcery and invades the Martian Manhunter's mind. She managed to cause him terrible illusions. He thought he was back on his home planet Mars and saw both his deceased wife and his 2 children. The Martian Manhunter believes that he has returned to the past and can live his life with his family, but suddenly the demon Etrigan invaded his mind, saying that only a fool would fall for such poorly crafted illusion. The Martian Manhunter didn't believe his words, and Etrigan had to force him back to reality.
How dare you violate the cycle?
When he awoke, the Martian Manhunter was really sad. It was all an illusion, but he wanted it to be true. He says that he couldn't find the sorceress, but he heard the words archaeologist and castle. Fortunately, that's all Batman needs to find her. All the heroes resumed their journey, and Etrigan told Batman that they couldn't trust the Martian Manhunter. The sorcerer had already invaded his thoughts, and she might even be controlling the Martian from a distance. However, Batman said that he trusted the Martian with his own life. At that moment, the sorcerer was draining the youth of a woman, while her son researched the archaeologists who had found the castle online. He managed to discover who the 2 men were, and one of them must possess the Philosopher's Stone. Batman had the same idea. The heroes then went to visit one of the archaeologists. The demon Etrigan was the first to enter the house. The old man was so frightened by his presence that had a heart attack. The Martian Manhunter says that the man will be fine, but upon searching his memories, he discovered that the man doesn't have the stone. It must be with the other archaeologist.
Blast! But if Moss doesn't have it, then maybe Hickman does.
Flash and Wonder Woman went to the house of this other person. The man is very rich, and he was having a party. The security guards didn't want to let them in because they didn't believe they were from the Justice League. One of the guards even tried to attack Wonder Woman and ended up being beat down by her. He called the other guards, but at that moment, the archaeologist appeared. He was impressed by Wonder Woman's beauty and invited her to go inside. The Flash went along with her, and while they were at the party, we see that the Batman and Etrigan were observing the other man. Etrigan insists that he doesn't trust the Martian Manhunter, but Batman won't change his mind. In that moment, the sorceress appeared. She quickly realized that there was something wrong with that man. He was actually the Martian Manhunter in disguise. Morgana quickly figured it out, and after that, Etrigan and Batman came to attack her. Etrigan's magic doesn't work against the sorceress. No attacks can hit her. While they were fighting, Martian Manhunter was hypnotized by the memories of his family. Morgana managed to take down both Batman and Etrigan, and then she left the house with her son. They need to go to the other archaeologist's house.
He's obviously not here.
After that, Etrigan became so angry that he started attacking the Martian Manhunter, but had to stop because Batman just fainted. When Batman woke up, he was in the Justice League Tower. Martian Manhunter says that Batman got so much damage because of him. The Martian apologized for everything that happened. He says he was deceived by the illusions, and also the feeling of losing his family was too overwhelming. Batman would never be able to understand what it's like to feel that way, but he actually does. Meanwhile, at the archaeologist's house, the man was showing all his artwork to Wonder Woman. She managed to identify that his Roman statue was actually a fake copy. They continued walking around the residence, and when Flash saw two women bathing in a swimming pool, he decided to stop his investigation to join them. He allows Wonder Woman to continue with the other man, and she asked the man, "What's the source of so much power and money? Could it be some kind of stone?" The man was impressed by the guess. He then invited Wonder Woman inside his room. There, the man climbed onto the bed and showed her that the stone he had found while excavating a medieval castle. This stone had given him everything he has: cars, money, and women. Wonder Woman could hardly believe that this man used the infinite power of the stone to achieve such petty things. Suddenly, while they were talking, the doors were destroyed. The sorceress Morgana arrived with her son. She saw the stone and wanted to grab it, but Wonder Woman managed to grab it first. In order to beat Wonder Woman, Morgana transformed the man into a kind of alien worm. It attacked Wonder Woman, and when Flash saw what was happening, he had to go and help her. The worm was about to devour all the party guests, and Flash went there to stop it. Everyone managed to escape, but the worm attacked the Flash, and when it was about to devour him, Wonder Woman appeared to defend him. She was fighting the worm, and Morgana used the opportunity to grab the stone. Wonder Woman did everything she could to hold on to the stone, and suddenly Etrigan arrived and attacked Morgana. He said that Wonder Woman is stupid. She should have ran away when she grabbed that stone, but the woman said that she never runs from a fight. Etrigan then managed to convince her, saying that the fate of the world is in her hands. Wonder Woman then left, and the demon continued fighting the sorcerers. Unfortunately, he couldn't even penetrate her magic shield and was easily defeated. The sorceress was about to destroy the demon, but Flash managed to save him. The woman got so angry that she destroyed most of the archaeologist's mansion. The heroes then took the stone to the Justice League Tower, where it will be protected forever. But suddenly, the Martian Manhunter's mind was once again invaded by the sorcerers. She created another illusion, making the Martian Manhunter believe that he could have his family back. The sorceress has already realized that he is getting weak and only needs to be convinced a little more. Suddenly, the lights in the tower began to flicker and the demons appeared in that place. The fight began immediately. Etrigan and everyone else were trying to defeat those demons. Flash was the first one to need help, and everyone began to be surrounded by the creatures. Martian Manhunter saw what was happening and went there to help them, but on the way he was stopped by an illusion of his former wife. The superheroes were still battling against the demons, and after a while, Etrigan commanded Flash to create a hurricane with his speed, and then Etrigan used his powers to freeze all those demons. The tornado created by the Flash made all these demons explode. Now they wanna know where Martian Manhunter is. They need to search for him. But Etrigan says that it won't be necessary. He's already gone and took the stone. Wonder Woman says that it's impossible. Martian Manhunter would never do that. But Flash appeared, saying that one of the Justice League's fighters disappeared and Martian Manhunter is nowhere to be found. He was at that moment going with his jet to the sorcerer's location, and Etrigan asked the superheroes if they are willing to do whatever it takes to recover the stone. Morgana was actually controlling the Martian Manhunter and will bring him to the place where she is hiding. In order to show her son what his new reign will be like, the woman used her last magic to transform the entire city of London into the ancient city of Camelot. Now his son has a castle and a throne to sit on. Everything, however, will be short-lived. The boy wants to be king of the world for all eternity, and to be able to do that, they need the stone. Suddenly, the Martian Manhunter arrived. He has the stone, but before the woman could get it, the superheroes appeared through a portal. The attack began immediately. The sorcerers want the Martian Manhunter to hand over the stone, but the heroes always manage to stop him. Etrigan managed to land many blows on the Martian Manhunter and tells him that if he gives the stone to the woman, many souls will be destroyed and Martian Manhunter himself will spend eternity in purgatory. The Martian says that he needs the stone because the sorcerers promised to bring his family back, but Etrigan says that he will be able to find his family once he's dead and buried. The Martian Manhunter will not be defeated so easily and managed to knock him down. Next, he grabbed the Philosopher's Stone, determined to do anything to bring his family back.
The sorceress was still fighting the other superheroes. Her son transformed the throne into a monster that almost devoured the Batman, but he managed to defeat it. Flash grabbed the sorcerer's son, but she managed to knock him down with her powers, and Wonder Woman's lasso was useless. She and Batman were knocked down,
and Etrigan got up to continue attacking the Martian Manhunter. The Martian read his mind and made Etrigan faint. Etrigan reverted to being the human Jason, and at that moment, the sorceress came to ask for the stone. It seems like Etrigan's memories allowed the Martian Manhunter to break free from the hypnosis, and before handing over the stone, he destroyed it. The sorceress told him he could have had everything that he always dreamed of, but the Martian Manhunter said that the price was too high. Having lost the battle, the sorceress and her son decided to disappear from that place, but promised to return for revenge. All the illusions created by the sorceress ended up being shattered, and because of everything he did, the Martian Manhunter apologized and said that he would leave the Justice League. Jason said that the demon was wrong about the Martian. The alien managed to redeem himself and should be proud of himself as he continued walking with honor. Unlike Jason, he must wander the planet for all eternity because of his past sins. Martian Manhunter says that Jason is a poor soul and hopes that one day he may find peace. Thanks for watching.